Every cup of Nespresso coffee is an invitation to transform your morning routine into a ritual you can treasure each and every day. Using the Virtuo Pup, a simple touch of the button freshly brews bold aromas and a rich, velvety crema layer for delicious cafe-quality coffee at home. Whether you enjoy your coffee hot or over ice, every sip, every morning is unforgettable. Nothing tastes like Nespresso coffee. Visit Nespresso.com or our app to explore our full range of easy-to-use machines and coffees not found anywhere else.
This episode is brought to you by Nerds Gummy Clusters, the sweet treat that always elevates the vibe. With a sweet gummy surrounded with tangy, crunchy nerds, every bite of Nerds Gummy Clusters brings you a whole new world of flavor. Whether it's game night, on the way to a concert, or kicking back with your crew, unleash your senses with Nerds Gummy Clusters.
If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got. If you don't like what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you.
All right, kids. Listen. Don't listen to this podcast.
Don't listen to this.
If you're not of age.
What's of age?
18.
16?
18. We're a bunch of dudes, and we're going to say some really bad words.
Welcome back to the Conspiracy Podcast.
Once again, you have arrived at the pinnacle, so to speak.
And if you don't know who we are, I'm Eric.
And this is Jorge.
I'm Sean. What's up?
The Tres Amigos.
Yeah, tres hermanos.
So we left you off in part 2 of the pyramids, and obviously go back, listen to part 1, listen to part 2.
Yes.
We've decided to give Sean an extra episode because there's just so much.
I mean, we had to cut it off. And also, it was like when we were recording episode 2, shit started to like degrade. It was getting real late.
We started
like,
to fade out.
Yeah, like the high noons were taking a serious effect.
It was getting pretty
And
late
so we decided to cut it off and then recap. So just to give you a little recap of what we went over. Obviously, you should have listened to the episode 2 of the pyramids. If you haven't already, do that. But just to recap, so we're all in the same frame of mind of these inconsistencies, these mysteries. We went over the cardinal alignments, how, you know, the pyramids are literally, it's like 0.03 or 5 degrees off of true north.
Yeah.
And just we actually had a question in our Discord. So just to explain, so true north is actual directional north. So it's like what would be considered perfectly north, like perfectly straight up, as opposed to magnetic north, which has to do with the magnetic fields of Earth. So it's actually 2 separate directions technically.
That's why you use the word true.
Yeah, so it's true north.
That's cool.
True north.
And then there was the various mathematical curiosities, such as how the Great Pyramid itself is like an exact like Earth's proportions. If you might like minimize the Earth's proportions down, it's exact to the Great Pyramid, as well as one of the ones that was a little kind of sus, but still interesting. The fact that
golden ratio.
We did go over the golden ratio too, but I was more talking about the coordinates being almost identical to the exact speed of light.
Oh,
which, you know, that's. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's random. I don't know what that means.
It could be like a stretch, like we were saying. Like,
but it's
you're
still
just
like,
looking
the fact
for
that it's
something.
like exact to 6 digits, pretty amazing.
It's pretty,
like,
I'm gonna bite my tongue.
Bite it
until you're
until you die.
Bite it.
Then we went over the 4 shafts that are in the Great Pyramid. 2 of which are in the King's Chamber, 2 of which in the Queen's Chamber. Then we went over various things regarding the construction methods, such as the ramps, and Eric had the lovely children's diagram of
If you
the
haven't
ramp
seen it,
system.
if you haven't seen it, go to the Patreon and it's evidence.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A, Eric's Scribble Scrabble, and so he's been using that for all of his arguments. Definitely check it out; it's super legit.
But you guys should know that I drew that. Not Eric.
that was when I came up with the concept of just build higher, right? Like just push.
And then I think I was like, at that point, I was like
build
blind
higher.
raging at that point, and he was like, "No, you understand?
Build a longer ramp.
I'm going to skip
A higher
down.
ramp.
We were talking about the King's Chamber and the impossible granite slabs. So pretty much above the King's Chamber, which is legit. It's like fucking 20 feet high. There's these like fucking 80-ton fucking granite slabs, and Eric's like, "You just build higher. If you just build higher, it's like, I don't know how his logic works, but yeah.
Well, because you were saying, well, how does the ramp? You already built a 2-mile ramp, right? To get there in the first place.
But the thing is,
and then it was like, well, how do you get higher up on the pyramid?
But even on the ramp,
you build the ramp higher.
No, but even on the ramp thing, how would they even know the concept of physics, knowing they would need to build a ramp that long? Because you'd think they were like, "Oh, let's build a ramp." They're like, "Oh, it doesn't move." Okay, build it a little bit longer. Like 70 years later, you're like, "Okay, it's a 2-mile ramp." It's like, so then,
don't worry, I debunk it in the next episode. Don't worry. Yeah,
God, there we go with this bullshit. Yeah. So then we went into the precision of the stone cutting with their fucking hyper advanced copper tools.
Yeah,
and they had like drill marks and all these things with their very malleable, not super strong.
And remember, these were
tools.
like razor thin. Margins. Precise.
I mean, if you literally look like at the perimeter of the pyramid, each side is within millimeters of the same distance.
Yeah.
Each side is almost exactly equal within millimeters with copper tools.
Yeah.
So and then no like they didn't have like a fucking like a giant like what's that thing called? The tape measure. To like make sure it's like, all right, that one's dialed in.
Use the rope system.
Actually,
and the knots.
I will say that I did figure this out.
What?
This part.
The measuring?
Oh.
Yeah, and how you can't get a razor blade into it. I figured it out.
Oh, well,
really?
Well, the razor blade alludes to the casing stone mystery.
Yeah.
So that was with the casing stones. The casing stones were cut so perfectly that you
so
literally
perfect.
you could not even fit a razor blade into the casing stones, which are all gone now.
Yeah.
They were made of a softer limestone. They were shiny.
It's like 80% gone, no?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
almost
they're
all
still at
gone,
the bottom. Like
Oh,
you
at the
can
bottom,
see
you
the
see
little,
some, yeah,
little
but
parts
most of
it,
them were gone and taken.
But if you guys were worried, don't worry. I figured that out.
Okay.
Is what I'm telling you. So just for the future, don't worry. I figured that part
Hold
out.
off for Eric.
So what you're telling me is I need to get like blackout in this episode so I can just tune,
I'm just letting you
not
know,
listen.
No, that's going to end up in a fight. That's going to end up in a fight. with you.
Little foreshadowing, but I figured it out.
Podcast might end tonight. We kind of alluded to it, but then we went into the King's Chamber. Obviously, the impossible granite blocks, what we just talked about. There's also like the quote unquote sarcophagus is a little odd. It doesn't like make sense. It doesn't. Every sarcophagus they've ever found looks nothing like this one.
Yeah.
It's just a little weird.
And we posted photos of that in our Patreon, and it's just a empty room.
Yeah, it's just a fucking
with this.
And those walls
little
are
box.
like well, it looks like a flat.
Yeah, it looks like a tomb.
But there was
right?
nothing. Well,
I remember we
now
figured.
there's
I
nothing
think
in
we
there, I don't
decided it was storage.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, that was like the party supply, like the Christmas decorations were in the King's
the
Chamber.
U-Haul store. The storage spaces.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and then there's also various like acoustic and like kind of resonance type properties, as well as like these electromagnetic anomalies within the King's Chamber. So that's just a brief, quick little recap of the various topics that we brought up. And
also,
then,
when we finished that episode last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, we were talking about like, oh man, it would be so cool to like go to the pyramids.
Oh, and then literally Mr. Beast.
Yeah,
the
literally
motherfucker.
fucking like the next day, Mr. Beast.
It was the next day. It was exactly the next day.
Oh my god!
And we were like, we literally just create like this motherfucker. And he's like in the King's Chamber. Like,
but it was pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen that, like he takes you inside and like it's a pretty cool video. You
it
guys
really
check
pays
it
to be
out.
like uber
Good on
rich.
him.
Yeah, seriously.
Honestly, I'm getting really mad. This is a tangent. I'm getting mad. We're starting to call things.
Yeah, we're starting to predict the future.
Honestly, I don't know if anybody knows this, but we named the killer in Jack the Ripper.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Actually did.
We literally
Yeah,
named
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Like the killer.
We also had named the kill or the name the arrested
well,
person.
real quick on that, if they don't know, it just recently got announced or released. That they
did the DNA.
and they found the real killer.
Yeah,
I mean,
Aaron
but
Kosminski.
it
or
is
whatever.
confirmed.
Just to play devil's advocate.
Yeah,
She was a prostitute,
right.
and the odds of like there being multiple
Totally.
samples of
DNA.
jizz
Yeah.
on the shot,
Well, let's say DNA.
pretty high.
Say DNA. Yeah.
I mean, it was okay. Let's as
We'll
soon as I
say-
sneeze on it, like let's be real. He did sneeze.
I mean-
it's not from his face.
I mean, what do prostitutes do? They prostitute. So
that's what I'm saying. I'm
there's
saying
lots
so
of
there-
prostituting.
There is a chance. I mean, this would like that DNA evidence probably wouldn't hold up in court,
Right.
Correct.
Because you'd be like,
there you go.
well, he was
Yeah.
like my 8th trick of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
for
don't,
sure.
there's no way to know.
For
So I'm
sure.
saying, granted, we did name him,
No.
and we fucking should
Yeah,
get cred.
take the win,
But
Sean.
what I'm trying to say is,
I mean, it's a conspiracy pocket podcast.
Okay,
Question everything.
what I'm trying to say is that we are actually getting pretty decent at
We're pretty
Yeah.
good at this.
nailing something on the head.
yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Anyways,
We
so
also solved Tupac's on the
Yeah.
other side too. So.
Yeah.
just so you know, we have some cred now.
Yeah, we're fucking
We got
professionals.
some cred.
So
So
listen up.
So listen to what we're saying.
It's literally 3 high school diplomas, 2 solved crimes. I mean, we're almost at 3.
Yeah.
3 high school diplomas, 3 solved crimes.
Shit, who knows what we'll do next?
Me and Sean will be at 3 by the end of the night.
Literally, well, we're already. I mean, this one's already solved. So,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
so it's pretty much 3. So, to pick up where we left off,
Okay.
and to just burn this into Eric's brain.
Okay.
Now we're into the Queen's Chamber.
Mm.
We went over the King's Chamber. Now we're in the Queen's Chamber. The King's Chamber was the one that's higher up in. It's the one that's fucking hundreds of feet off the ground. That's the higher one. The Queen's Chamber is the lower chamber.
Okay.
So this one is it's located exactly at the center of the pyramid, like literally at the exact center.
So is it underneath the kings?
Yeah, the King's Chamber's up top.
Up?
Yeah,
And so then it would technically be
hers is
underneath.
lower. So there's
Okay.
like 2. There you can see like you can pull up a diagram that shows you like shows the pyramid, but then
The
you like
tunnel, or
Yeah,
not
like
the
you can
tunnel,
see
the
like the one
shaft.
goes up
Yeah.
and then one goes down.
Gotcha.
So hers is located exactly at the center of the pyramid. It measures 5.7 meters long, which is about
Okay.
19 feet, and then 5.2 meters wide, it's about 17 feet,
Kind of small.
and then 6.2 back
They were
high.
tiny
still-
back then.
but it was 20 feet tall, which is why I don't know
humans
why
are
they're
like 5 feet tall. Look at the tombs.
I love that. That's the argument. They're small people.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, have you ever been to like England, bro? Like, I literally have to like crawl into these like fucking old like cottages that were made in the 1700s.
Now, do you think though that the construction of the Queen's chamber is small because of her size?
No, it's actually not that small because it's still 20 feet tall.
17 feet is like.
No, in terms of like total size, yes, but the height is still 20 feet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, imagine like my ceilings, like
Yeah.
times like 2.2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like fucking.
Okay, that's pretty big.
It's pretty.
Yeah,
it's pretty
big.
tall.
Yeah.
And like say maybe half of the deck
Yeah,
here.
so it's like my back patio,
right here.
Yeah.
but like to
Half.
here.
Yeah,
Right,
and then
like-
but high.
yeah, but really high. I don't know why I was so fucking high. And they're like, we're gonna make it real small, but then super tall. So her chamber has a unique pit in the floor, which some believe
Pit.
may conceal like a hidden passage, kind of like the fucking Vatican. I don't know if you've ever been to the Vatican.
Mhm.
No,
No.
I haven't.
So if you go in the Vatican and you
Me
walk,
and Eric are
you walk
peasants compared
around,
to you.
Yeah.
We
And,
don't,
like,
we are not
I
travelers.
fly Spirit only.
Yeah.
They don't. Do they go to the Vatican?
we're gonna find out. We're gonna Google this shit.
Spirit to Vatican.
I know it should be.
Yeah, $29.99.
I know, right? If you fly like a Tuesday
Spirit,
at 3
man.
p.m.
Yeah.
Fuck Spirit.
You gotta.
I'm never doing that again.
You gotta sit with
They're
the
the worst.
chickens.
Oh, they're
The
the
fucking
fucking
worst.
worst.
No, but anyways, like if you go to the Vatican, there's like these like they almost look like sewer grates, and they're like fucking gold.
Oh,
But you can
Oh,
see
yeah.
through them, and they're literally tunnels, and you see fucking people walking under there. You're like, what?
Yeah,
the
we
fuck?
talked about that in what episode?
Oh yeah, we did the
Vatican
episode.
Library.
Yeah, the Vatican
Library.
Library. Yeah.
Library, exactly.
So then there's like what they consider a peculiar niche in the Queen's Chamber. So one of the I guess, considered the most mysterious features is like there's this niche cut into like the eastern wall of it.
Now, when you say niche, what do you mean?
It's like
I have a different definition for the word
so it's
niche.
just the way it's pronounced. It's like a oh, you can say like an indent.
Okay.
Like a abscess cut into it.
Okay.
And so it's cut into the eastern wall.
Abnormally, like say something's completely flat and then there's a little indentation.
Yeah, it's like cut in. Like say like like if you wanted to like put like a little like inward shelf almost.
Okay.
So it's cut into the eastern wall and extends about 4 meters, and it's 13 feet deep.
Wow, that's pretty deep.
Yeah, like what the like why like what? Like what do you got? What's even back there?
Like a cubby.
Like imagine cutting cutting like a cubby that's like underneath imagine underneath your couch, but like 13 feet, and you're like, where did that thing go? Like where's the remote? It's 13 feet back there. It's like, what the so it's unclear what this was used for. There's researchers that suggest it might have like housed a statue or some sort of ceremonial object, or an entrance to some sort of hidden tunnel,
or some jewels or something.
It makes me think of
the booty.
It makes me think of King Tut. I don't know if you've seen the images of finding King Tut, but in his chambers or whatever, there were like little storage spaces for all his goods.
Yeah, because I think that the Egyptians did believe like you get to bring like all your shit.
You need to bring all your shit to the
like,
afterlife. So you had like a gold-ridden carriage, and it was like tucked away. Not a carriage, but like a wheelbarrow. A wheelbarrow full of your jewels, and it was like tucked away in the corner. So that's what it makes me think of. Like a little.
I mean, we're pretty much chalk this all up to storage.
Yeah,
everything's fucking storage space.
Yeah.
It's like an IKEA. It was like ancient IKEA.
Yeah.
It's like fucking a little bookshelf in there, fucking good to go. So there's that, but then there's a secret door in the shafts of the Queen's Chamber. So the Queen's Chamber contains 2 narrow shafts that extend diagonally, one to the north and one to the south, which we had talked about in these shafts. So unlike the shafts in the King's Chamber, which lead to the exterior of the pyramid, these shafts are actually sealed off. They don't actually go out. Like where the King's Chamber one, that's why we talked about, your spirit goes out to like the fucking whatever star it's pointing at.
Or even watching the stars.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
In 1993, there was a German engineer named Rudolf Gattenbrick, and he used a robot, which they named Up-Ot 2, to explore the southern shaft. So they pretty much, the shaft is like a square.
Mm-hmm.
And
how long is it?
I don't know exactly how long.
Because like to send a robot in there, I mean.
Oh no, I do have here's a long. So he discovered this small stone door with 2 copper handles, and it was located about 65 meters from the chamber. So like he run this little robot.
It's far.
It's 213 feet.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like and that little thing's like I've seen the videos of like this little rover like going.
It's like half a football field.
It's big. Yeah, it's bigger, more than half.
Yeah,
65 meters is about 65 yards. So even though a meter and a yard aren't exact, but then. This door does not lead outside. And they don't really actually know where it leads, but it doesn't. It's not like fucking like a back patio door.
The Winchester Mystery House.
So this
maybe the king didn't want her to follow him.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, baby, I'll meet you in the afterlife.
I had enough of this.
He's like, lock her ass up. Like her spirit's like, yeah.
Make her think she's gonna get out.
I know. He's like fucking ghosting her ass. Like literally, peace. I'll be in the stars. You're gonna be in like this little chamber. That's so shit. God damn. Legit, like literally and figuratively ghosted her. Like literally. So in 2002, another robot was sent to drill a hole in the door, and it revealed a small empty space and another mysterious door sealed beyond that. Like, when are they gonna just like? At some point, we gotta be like, let's just blow this shit up and like see what's behind there. Because like, we kind of gotta know. Like, I gotta know. And so there's a similar block shaft that was found in the northern passage, and then also ended with a sealed door. So there's multiple fucking sealed doors up in this piece.
This is like the Winchester Mystery House. You ever heard of that?
No,
I have not.
In San Jose, there's this house that was built by the heir to the Winchester rifle. Family, and during like I think it was the Depression, she just had people build.
It's like build shit.
And so if you go tour it, it's like a scary place to tour.
Like tunnels, like
no, like just imagine a massive mansion, but then we were like, fuck it, build the door to nowhere.
Oh, you just like walk through and
you open the door,
like a dead end?
You like fall to the ground.
Oh my God.
Or like stairs to nothing.
Whoa.
Or like doors to rooms that go around in a circle. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like random shit.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking like a carnival.
So it reminds me of this because it seems like there's just doors and shafts to nothing.
This is doors.
Yeah. Anyways.
So, obviously that leads to the question, like, what the fuck's behind these doors?
Yeah.
Like,
do we not know? Or are you gonna go?
No. Like it still remains unknown. Like the purpose of these block shafts, the purpose of these doors, they don't know. It's all speculative. Like so, people speculate they could lead to other hidden chambers that they haven't discovered yet. That could contain potentially like artifacts or secret texts or fucking other bodies or who knows. And then others believe that these could be like somewhat ceremonial in purpose in terms of other pathways for the soul to travel through. I don't know why they would like, it's like a little spirit house, like a little spirit cove,
spirit house.
I don't know, like why wouldn't you want to like dip out to like this, like the stars instead of like being like trapped in this fucking pyramid?
Yeah, you got to make it out of the maze first,
and then
you're stuck here forever.
Yeah, you're like,
so fun.
True. But then there's like researchers that propose that they might have just been left unfinished intentionally.
Yeah.
Suggesting maybe like they never actually completed the purpose of what they were actually
Building.
built for.
They ran out of time, Eric.
Ran out of money.
I personally think no, because the fucking empire existed for like thousands of years after it.
Unlimited resources.
Unlimited.
It's kind of like that wall, in Mexico.
Well, that was like Congress, bro. That wasn't like funds.
I know, but I mean a new regime.
That's a good point.
Stop building it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Eric. You're wrong.
I don't know.
I personally think that these doors, there's other shit that we haven't discovered.
Yeah,
and they're too afraid.
But why don't they open it?
Because it's not our. It's like all the if you've noticed, all these researchers are not from Africa or Egypt. So like I think that there's the branch of the government in Egypt is called like the Antiquities. Fucking some shit.
Ancient Egyptian antiquities or some
department.
Shit,
they won't let people do shit.
So that might be the conspiracy in itself.
Yeah, like they know what's going on, and they're like,
we don't want people to fuck around.
Yeah,
because why haven't we?
Dude, it's insane. Like, dude, if this was
after
in America,
all these years,
dude,
after all of these,
bro,
years.
if this was America, they would have just demoed that shit. They would have put some like, let's just blow it up, and we'll fucking pick up the pieces later.
Interesting.
Yeah, they would have like dismantled the pyramids.
Yeah.
I do have a question.
Yes,
and this might, we'll see.
Okay. What the fuck?
How do we know that these are the Queen's chambers?
That's a great question, actually.
Or the King's chambers? There's nothing on the walls.
Okay.
There's no evidence to say that. We just made this up as their chambers.
You see other pyramids or other structures that came after it, and
other burial.
Yeah, we have found burial, and that.
I think they were just making. It's probably an educated guess.
Yeah. Okay. So
I think it's educated guess.
But so there's no that says Queen
this way to the Queen
Nefertiti and whatever.
No, I did not even think about that. Yeah. Honestly, that's actually that's a great question. Yeah. I think I can only speculate that they've
been the assumption for 5,000
years. They
just
assume it. They're like, okay, there's two shafts, and they've always assumed that this was a burial ground. So like, well, obviously the king would be higher because they were like super conceited. They would never like be below the queen.
Yeah.
For sure.
So they're like, oh, they probably just. They probably just did that. Yeah. Smaller chamber. Yeah, the queen. Yeah.
All right, we'll mark that one down for Eric.
All right, you know what?
Pepsid Complete knows that food is one of the best parts of game day. That is, until heartburn strikes. Thankfully, just one chewable tablet of Pepsid Complete provides dual-action heartburn relief with an antacid that starts working instantly and an acid reducer that lasts all day. So you can stay focused on that second helping of chili without worrying about heartburn. All day based on 8-hour symptom relief studies during the day. Use product only as directed.
This episode is brought to you by Greenlight. Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/Spotify. Greenlight.com/Spotify.
It's cool.
Fine. I'll give you like half a point. Can I give you like half a point? What if he's called like a foul?
Yeah.
And then we'll let you take your free throws later.
I mean, it doesn't answer anything. It still is. It still creates another question.
You're just adding to the conspiracy.
I am just
one for me and Horn.
Yeah.
Making the conspiracy.
I'm just wondering, like, who made this up?
That's a really
right. Like, who said this is the Queen's Chamber? I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe we should have discussed this before we did the episode. So I gotta look that up. God damn it.
Maybe obviously when we do these episodes, we are learning this stuff too. Like, it's
100%.
we're not.
Yeah, we're not.
You know
all
what I mean? Yeah, like there's a reason we're not on Rogan spitting our fucking knowledge as an Egyptologist.
Exactly.
We're just three people trying to go, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Or what is it?
Just like you are.
Yeah,
listening at home, you're trying to figure it out with us.
So if you do know, I'd love to know why is it called the Queen's Chamber and why is it called the King's Chamber for that matter?
That's a good point. Yeah, hit us up in the Discord.
Yeah,
I'd love to hear.
Send a nasty email to Eric.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know what? Yes.
Dear Eric.
You know what? Do that.
Dear Eric.
Leave a good review. Send Eric a nasty email.
Yeah. I love those comments. We actually got a comment was like, I'm looking forward to shitting on Eric.
Yeah, and I was like much love, bro. Like, deuces, you're gonna get upgraded into like fucking
resend to the group.
Do you want to be an admin in the Discord? Like, do you want to you're good.
Anyways, sorry.
Yeah. So the next thing about the Queen's Chamber is that there's these strange salt deposits within the chamber. So the walls of the Queen's Chamber, they have a layer of salt that's about a half a centimeter thick. Which is about that much. It's actually quite a bit of a layer.
Yeah.
And that potentially suggests that like there's evidence of like an ancient chemical reaction. There's water presence or even potentially hidden chambers behind the walls because that. Well, no, it's like so.
How would sediment be up on a like gravity would take it?
Well, no, that's why I'm saying a chemical reaction because if there is some sort of chemical reaction, that would cause it to then
stick,
or stick to the wall.
Yeah, interesting.
And I think the main thing behind that, what they're thinking is like electrolysis. So, so that means like the creation of electricity, like causing that to occur.
This lends it to the conspiracy of it being a power center,
yes, which I'm actually a big believer in.
Of some sort of energy creator because. The only thing I can think of logically why there would be salt on the walls would be a flood, and then the leftovers. But again, the gravity would
wouldn't it be everywhere else too?
It would be everywhere else, but it would also be on the ground, not on the wall.
Yeah, but also think of the flood.
The flood would subside.
Yes,
and then the sediment would go.
Yeah.
But the thing I want to think about that is like it would have to be a flood from the ocean. Because the Nile is fresh water.
Interesting. Yep. Correct.
It's not salt water.
Fuck. So the whole fucking fuck.
Yeah. So it's like.
So that's not really possible.
No.
Maybe.
It's potential.
Maybe.
Giant.
We're talking about 5,000 years ago.
Yeah, like a little like Noah's Ark level flood.
Yeah,
like the ocean comes back, but then So that's why it's like a huge thing. Like, where the fuck did this come from?
Where is this?
That's why
salt?
I think.
Is it straight salt?
Yeah, it's salt. Just salt. NaCl. Sodium chloride, just salt.
Don't get that.
And that's still there now.
Yeah, right now, today. Like it's on the walls.
Yeah,
it's a half a centimeter thick. It's like a fucking crust. It's like if you like salt bake a fish.
Only in the Queen's Chamber
compared to the King's.
Yeah, they didn't. I mean, when I did the research, they didn't say shit about the King's Chamber.
Yeah,
they were saying the salt deposits were in the Queen's Chamber,
I don't know.
Or maybe it's like
flood didn't make it there.
Okay.
Didn't make it.
Didn't make it.
So there are.
I got tickets to the King's Chamber only, bro. I got tickets.
So here are the theories. Here are the theories specifically about the Queen and King's Chambers, which will lend to what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
So, which I think is a really, really good one is energy generation. So they're saying it's like it's either a tomb or it's an energy generator. I think it's a fucking energy generator personally.
Okay.
So mainstream archaeologists still believe that they are burial grounds for Pharaoh Khufu.
Gotcha.
Which I think there's
it's kind of like the most educated guess without getting into conspiracies. Like,
you know what it is?
It's for them.
Yeah, for them. It's like, but
you know what it is? It's the safest.
Exactly.
It's the safest because they were like, why would they build something so big unless they were going to bury like a super important person?
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
It's the safest.
And it is
It also
what
is
you
like
used to do back then, because based on other ones that we found.
Can you imagine? I can imagine if I was like a professor and I didn't have tenure yet, and I'm like, it's tomb. Yeah, tomb for sure. 100% a tomb. Also, like, I'm not gonna like say any sketch shit.
Right.
Like,
also, I know we're gonna get on a tangent here, but there's a theory that, and I want to unpack it a tiny bit because it's at that point where if it is an alien entity and or alien scenario, it hurts the Bible. Like it hurts the concept of the Bible. Meaning, well, because that's alien life forms that are more powerful than
which
Jesus,
would be the God,
and
like,
or
those would be the
you know what I mean?
like
so, but maybe they're
entities.
Maybe if it was, I'm just saying, I'm playing into that. What if it was an alien entity and then it was covered up because it.
Well, or it wasn't covered up.
I don't want to say it cancels out the Bible, but
let me give you this though. Yeah. In that same light, you have to think of it like this.
Yeah.
Does it hurt the Bible? I don't think so. And the reason I say that is because if you actually look at the Bible itself, and if you look at any major religion, it's a giant game of telephone.
Right.
So what we perceive as it now, it passed down through thousands of years.
Yeah.
You know, who's to say that that's not possible? But it also doesn't discount the fact that there isn't, even if there are aliens. Let's say it was aliens.
Yeah.
And let's say the Bible's the Bible, but like that doesn't say that that doesn't prove that there's not a God still.
Right. It doesn't
there's
prove
no
there's
in no way, shape, or form disproves the fact that they're still, is there still a God? Is there still a Jesus?
Yeah.
Like Jesus, I truly believe that Jesus was a dude.
Yeah.
No, he was a fucking dude.
It's like if they came now, let's say today. Okay, that's not going to change anything on the Bible.
It wouldn't change
something like the Bible says what the Bible says, and people believe what the people, what they want to believe or whatever. Whether right now, today, aliens came down or not.
I got you. I'm not.
I know it would raise a lot of questions. It would raise a lot of questions, and it would cause a lot of like panic. And,
I'm not knowledgeable enough in.
Well, the thing
to
about
go yes or no to that.
Well, the thing about
that make sense.
So I do agree that it would cause a fucking people be like, what the fuck?
I was just wondering, like, if that could lead into a motive of covering it up.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
that
a
make
good
sense?
fucking point.
Because if you like,
that's oh my god, Eric's coming to the dark side.
No,
holy shit,
I'm just
Eric,
saying,
you're a genius. Oh my god, I've never had more admiration for you in my entire life.
No, I'm just saying if this was a secret in the pyramid, then it had to have been covered up by somebody.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so then why do you do a cover up? There's got to be a motive.
Well, yeah, like this discounts everything.
And so I was just kind of like,
that's a good point. Like if they think aliens and the aliens will be the new gods, and they'll be like, "Fuck this." That's a really good point.
I don't know. Just kind of
that's a
rambling.
Really well. I mean, look what they cover up now.
Yeah,
to get more money.
No, we have a VIP Patreon, and they asked us to do. I didn't even tell you guys this.
Thanks.
They asked us to do the Holy Grail.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Do you remember Da Vinci Code?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was the hidden rosary line. And the only reason I went with this train of thought was because I was kind of like dabbling in it and like looking around at it and sort of thing. And I was like, well, what's the motive of covering it up? And
that's a good point.
And it was just that the Bible was written in a different way.
Well, I mean, if you look at
like in order to cover up Mary Magdalene and that sort of thing.
I mean, even if you think about like they have a very vested interest. I mean, there's a billion Catholics on Earth. That's a lot of people to like.
Yeah.
But
anyways, we're going on a way tangent. But I'm trying to say on the pyramids itself, like what is hidden there? If there's something still hidden there.
Shit there. There's fucking shit there, bro.
I mean, it could also just be like in the same way that we don't understand the hieroglyphics. It's just lost.
But they're not in the pyramid. There are none in the pyramid.
That's also all the walls are very like
plain.
That's really true.
There's no writings. It's empty.
But whatever. I'm saying it's still in that same way. Yeah. It could just be fucking lost info.
Totally.
Lost tech, lost info.
100%. 100%.
Just didn't get passed on. Not necessarily that it got covered up. It's just that
They just fucking lost the time.
We just did a bad job.
Remember we talked about on the last episode, like maybe the hieroglyphs were like, bro, like look under the fucking third rock on the right. Totally. And then we're like, I think this crane means got it.
This crane shitting on a
100%. It reminds me of fucking The Mummy. When he's like, Manifest! It's like, we don't fucking know.
Yeah, no, it's so true.
No, that's actually good. No, I like that.
Yeah.
But one of the points, so regarding when we're talking about like whether it was a tomb or not and that whole thing, there was no mummies and there's no burial artifacts that have been found in either of the chamber. And as we know, they always would, they always bury them with all their fucking shit. I mean, granted, it could have been looted, but they have like their organs in like fucking jars.
So
and
does this help my argument or
ours? Well,
I'm not sure on that question.
Yeah.
But you said it was a little storage. There's nothing there.
Where's the storage, Eric?
Where's the storage? No, but I mean, if there's no evidence of a tomb, then how can we say it's a tomb?
That's my point. That's my point. Is like I don't think it's a tomb because there's
I don't think it is either.
So and even if you look, that's a point for us.
Yeah. Even if you look in all the other tombs, like there's still fucking hieroglyphs and shit on the wall.
Right.
There's not these walls are fucking plain. It's like being buried inside like literally like
if anything, it should have at least been like Khufu was here.
I know, like a little statue. Like what's up?
But nothing.
No, it was nothing. Literally nothing. So that obviously leads people to believe that it was some sort of like ancient energy device that used like resonance and electromagnetic waves and forces to create energy. And I talked about the sound resonance factor. So the granite specifically in the King's Chamber has high amounts of quartz, which can generate an electric charge when subject to vibrations called piezoelectric effect. So I don't know if you've ever seen, like you can take 2 quartz rocks and you can literally like rub them together and you can, at night,
something?
It's electricity. Like it literally lights up.
Yeah.
So it literally has like a piezoelectric effect that creates electricity. Yeah. Also, if you think of a watch, the movement in a watch, there's quartz movement. So it creates literally creates energy to like perpetuate to perpetuate motion.
It's a watch.
So anyway. No, but like the movement itself is quartz. So it's creating perpetual motion.
That there's some evidence of energy creation, right? Like,
well, they're saying that there's
it could be.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Based on what we're there. Like obviously because
the elements are there.
Well, the only issue is like, we base everything off of what we know now. So it's like obviously it's not like a coal fucking power plant like in there.
Yeah.
Like but like
true.
so we can only guess based on like okay, well quartz can like based on there's various resonance effects. Like that's with sound in this thing. There's the salt in the Queen's tomb. There's quartz in the King's tomb, which is known to have this piezoelectric effect. So it's all speculation.
I feel like this is like a never-ending building circumstantial evidence case.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Massive.
Yeah.
Massive circumstance.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we have. It's
I know.
Fucking 5,000 fucking years
I'm
ago,
just saying,
bro. Like,
I'm just saying it's
like hard evidence. We found kids. DNA.
I know. And it's just a funny, like, if it was a court situation, it's just dancing around. There's no,
I know, there's no real, like,
yeah.
So the dimension, there's another thing on this, like, whole resonance, this sound thing.
Yeah.
So the dimensions of the chamber, of the King's Chamber, they align with specific musical ratios that lead people to believe that it was designed to actually amplify sound.
Okay.
And the reason I think this is a cool theory, have you ever seen what sound does? Like, like they take like a flat metal plate and they put sand on it and you put different frequencies through it and it changes and is like really intricate.
That's super cool. Yeah.
It's fucking insane. It's like, that is the effect that like these waves are having on things. Like it is actually an effect. And so we don't even fully understand.
Yeah.
Obviously we're in this like hyper technological age and we don't realize what's actually happening. That's why people have all these theories about 5G and all this shit. We don't know what these waves, we're constantly, our TVs, our phones, everything, we're just being fucking bombarded by all this type of
like
sound.
There could have been,
you're sounding like my wife right now.
No, there could have been, the idea is that there could have been more knowledge and technology.
Yes, around this line.
Audio, right? Like a good example, because it's so old, is actually it's in Tampa. There is a mini, I don't know if you've been there, it's a park, it's on the water, and it's a mini build of the Coliseum.
No way.
No.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
so, I have seen that. I have seen that. Yeah. It's tiny.
So it's super tiny.
It's tiny.
It's very tiny.
It's by the museum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we went to the museum.
I know that part.
But a cool little experiment that you go do is there's one square that you go stand on, and you have your buddy go all the way to the top.
Yeah, you can hear.
And you talk normally, and he can hear you perfectly.
Yeah.
Really?
And it was built based on the Coliseum.
Yeah, it's like hyperacoustics. It's like
so they didn't have speakers, but they had acoustics. So the speaker in the Coliseum would be like, and now the battle of the antiquities, and
now release the sharks.
Yes,
dude. Oh my god, so bad.
But it's a proven. And when was the Coliseum built? Like 1,000 years ago, or
more
1,000 BCE.
Yeah,
so like 3,000 years ago.
Yeah.
But they had knowledge of audio.
But see, that's the thing. Is like
acoustics.
Yeah. It's just the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
Like, dude, with the fucking aqueduct system.
Oh yeah.
And like fucking plumbing.
Oh yeah.
And shit. Like, dude, what the fuck? And then it dies. And then technology dies. And then it's now we're like
the Dark Ages.
It's just weird. It's weird
we're
how they
shitting
had
out
like
windows and.
It's weird to think that they had these really high level grasp on being able to like that thing, because if you've seen the real Coliseum, it's fucking enormous.
Yeah.
It is, and it's steepish. Like, it's very dangerous. I don't know. All those people drunk off fucking wine, hella people must have died.
It's like one of those baseball stadiums where you get the nosebleeds. And you're like, oh, shit.
It's so terrifyingly steep. I'm like, dude, fuck being a poor person around. It's like, you're fucked. Like, so it's really interesting, like that
the audio
concept
side
of
it.
people having like these high level concepts and understanding of these things that we obviously we know more about now, but not even fully grasp.
So good, so good, so good.
Great brands, great prices. Everyone's got a reason to rack.
Because they have framed jeans.
Nike? Yes.
Just so many good brands.
Vince, Kurt Geiger London, Rag & Bone, and more are at Nordstrom Rack stores now. You never know what you'll find, but you know it's going to be so good. Great brands, great prices. That's why you rack.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
So then we get into more of the, I guess, obtuse type of theories on these chambers. So some people believe that the Queen's Chamber is like either a portal or just some sort of symbolic chamber. So Stargate.
Yeah.
So the block shafts in the Queen's Chamber resemble false doors that are seen in other Egyptian tombs, which were believed to be gateways to the afterlife. So I could see that. They're
but everybody who's walked
go through the door.
Everybody who's walked through it has just never come back.
Ooh.
No, I mean, I'm just saying. Like of course.
No witnesses.
They're gone.
They're like, walk through this door, and this fucking dude just fucking this hits him in the back of the head with a chisel.
Oh man.
So then there's some. I love how when you do these research, I always love researching these obscure things, and I'm trying to get the deep dive shit. And the people that write it still try to protect themselves and insulate themselves.
Yeah.
So they're
disclaimers.
Some esoteric researchers and they're trying to distance themselves but still be here's the data. So
some fringe educated conspiracy theorists
loose but some claim that the Queen's Chamber was a space for spiritual or mystical kind of rituals, which that's
that's not far-fetched.
No.
Yeah, we learned a lot about that in the Stonehenge.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Oh yeah. With the burial sites, fucking crazy.
That makes sense.
Some researchers think that the hidden chambers beyond these block shafts could contain, lost records or lost artifacts or more information.
Scrolls.
More even information that could explain, give us more understanding of what the fuck it was for.
Yeah.
You know? So we don't know. And there could
Egyptians, man. Can you just write down some history? Like,
but the fact
God,
is,
it would have solved all of our
the
problems.
thing is, like, they did.
Yeah.
We just don't understand
well,
it.
they did in the next episode.
No, if you look, because we don't know how to read the hieroglyphs. It's just like if you look at the old Sumerian fucking text, it's like, we don't know what it says at all. They could have been like, yo, dude,
this is how
you don't understand this shit.
You know, we could do a whole episode on the Rosetta Stone, you know, which is the stone that helped us translate to actually learn ancient Egyptian.
Yeah.
So it's a stone that some genius did, translating it for the first time. And that's how we open the door to learning in it.
And you know, I'm sorry, I just had this thought that, and now, like, I don't know why it just hit me, but I think I have a really good, a potential plausible theory on how they moved these blocks, moved those giant stone blocks. Like, imagine, because, like, what if they use sound, vibration?
I mean, it sounds crazy, but it doesn't sound crazy.
No, like, dude, dude,
where did the sound come from?
You create the sound.
No, you create some sort of.
Everybody just get around here. Everybody clap at the same time.
Do the example that you guys did earlier, where there was sound creating the pebbles or the little rocks, right?
Yeah,
you gave that example. The sand.
I'm saying if you were able to, obviously, I think they had help from other entities, but like, Imagine you take like even this think of like an earthquake, like it's vibration.
Yeah,
and the vibration causes things to move.
Okay, yeah.
So if you can create a vibration, you can cause a thing to literally like just stutter, the fucking stutter step its way.
Then throw water into it.
I don't
mix that with the mix. I'm just saying, mix it all together, like all the strategies together, and then.
How the strategy?
I don't know. You got water,
like a bunch of employees at it, bro.
No, you find the chick with the raddest that exists, like Bridget, and she's screaming at it. And then you throw water at it, and then you have the pulley system, and then all of this stuff just works.
Up the ramp.
A spiral
up the ramp.
Yeah. Sing, Bridget, sing.
No, I don't
bring in the flooding.
No, I don't think it was like voices. I mean, you would have to have some sort of like external fucking
What's
device.
The word? Supersonic sound,
like,
or whatever, like a boom of some kind.
Well, there's things that have more power than we believe. Like, for example, it's like, if you hit the right resonant frequency, you can shatter anything. Yeah. You can pretty much break anything.
That's true. It's very true.
Even the military has like sound guns or whatever,
imagine,
right?
Like, if you think of like if you can match the resonant frequency of fucking steel, you can break. It can literally shatter steel with sound. Yeah. So sound is a very powerful thing. It's just like, you know, we in recent time we discovered the power of water. That's why the hydraulic systems are amazing. It's like water. It cannot be fully compressed. It's like, and it can lift anything.
Yeah,
like the power of water is like
that's how they do it in the Panama Canal.
Exactly.
Like one ship comes in and then they flood it. Yeah, then they flood it.
Yeah,
because it's like on
elevate.
It's on some sort of elevation.
It goes,
or something.
and like this whole like fucking weird system. But I'm saying like the power of sound is a thing that is far more powerful than we think.
Yeah,
I might have just helped Eric on.
Yeah. I was like,
no, but to my point, okay, so fine, sound. I do get it, and I do agree, but
where did
back then, where did the sound come from?
No, it came from I believe it came from
just all the employees.
I don't know. I think it came from Anunnaki for sure. Okay. Like obviously we don't like. They weren't like yelling at it. Like that's not what I'm talking about by sound.
Okay,
I'm talking about like an advanced, sophisticated use
some sort of extraterrestrial fucking machine.
Now go like step out for a second. Like have you heard a plane breaking the sound barrier?
Yeah,
It's really loud,
super loud.
It's extremely loud. Yeah. Like that's the loud. That's the amount of loud you would need.
No, but you won't even necessarily need loud. I'm not saying like because we don't know. It's like we're all speculating. I'm not saying it's like it has to be so loud that it scares the fucking blocks into moving.
You're talking about more the correct frequency, like talking to a dog or the dog noise,
right? But
the dog whistle. It's like they hear it, but we have no.
But if you want to do that to steel or 80-ton block or something, like you need
No, but
it's force. You need force.
We need some sort of
or
force,
a machine.
It's vibration. Like it's also like that's what I'm saying. There's a vibration effect.
But isn't sound like that's sound vibration?
Yeah, exactly. Well, not necessarily, but yes, it is.
But what he's saying though is you need something to create it.
Yeah,
like we don't have. Yeah, we don't know what that is.
Yeah, like if I could, imagine me being able to vibrate. If I could vibrate this table fucking fast enough, I could just fucking destroy this table.
Yeah.
Like if you think of it even from a molecular level. So I know we're in another tangent here, guys. Woo. No, but like if you think of like atoms and like molecules, they're vibrating. Like literally, like they're actively moving. They're shaking.
Yeah.
So imagine if you could cause them to just vibrate faster. You could literally break up. You could just break up molecules.
Yeah.
You can actually shatter the fucking electrical bonds that are holding them together. You can actually just atomize shit.
It's
if
crazy.
You can vibrate it fast enough.
This is a great example because this is when I walk into the club, I just vibe the fuck out of everything.
I know, and then everyone just fucking liquefies and like
I just walk in and it's like vibe,
liquefies. I know, like all the bitches are just like
the panties drop. He vibrates, all the panties drop.
I walk in, everybody's just shaking.
How do you think Eric got his wife? Just fucking vibe the shit out of him.
Vabbing.
No, but it's an interesting point.
Yeah.
So, anyways, next.
Sorry, I didn't mean to joke on the top of the
No, it's
joke.
hilarious. I love it. That's the whole point of the fucking podcast. Yeah. This podcast is for us. Then you get into the electrical and energetic kind of properties theory. So there's the electromagnetic anomalies, which we kind of touched on. So they suggest that the pyramid can actually focus electromagnetic energy into these chambers, which led to mean like maybe they had a way of being able to focus and harness this energy to for what use? I don't know. That's why I think that there's some. I truly believe that like Don and I can be like, oh, okay, cool. We can use your like primitive shit. We can just make like fucking power plants, charge up our shit, fucking because
it's like the nuclear power plant of the time.
Yeah. Ish.
But
it's like free energy. You're harnessing like the energy of the atmosphere.
But wouldn't you be able to still do that now?
Well, Nikola Tesla.
No, we just haven't figured that out.
Well, we did. Nikola Tesla figured out fucking free energy.
Wireless energy.
And they fucking nuked his ass. And then fucking Thomas Edison stole his patents. And they're like, no, you need to buy this shit. It's not fucking free.
Yeah.
There's too much money. That's what I think. People fucking kill your ass over money.
Yeah.
But there's more than enough energy that's floating around that you could easily, I say easily, but there's also the Tartarians. What is it called? You ever heard that theory? It's like this lost civilization supposedly I think it's Tartaria, Tartarian some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was like supposedly like 100 years ago. And they supposedly
figured it all out.
Yeah. And were able to harness free energy and they got wiped out.
Yeah.
But I guess some of the architecture leads to believe that they were harnessing energy through like the way like this particular type of architecture was like a whole like system of like just pulling energy from the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And so I totally believe that is definitely possible.
Yeah.
But there's so much fucking money.
So all of these things that we're going over like this essentially it leads to was it a power station? Of some kind.
Yeah, some way of like
some
harnessing
machine.
Some harnessing either the natural electrical magnetic energy in the atmosphere or a whole quartz thing with like using some sort of like piezoelectric kind of generation to somehow generate energy through the building and like amplify the natural geophysical energy of it.
Okay.
And then use it. You could also think like maybe it was some sort of communications device, some sort of beacon, based on
alert system.
Yeah, like based on like, why are they facing certain stars? Why is it set up that way? Maybe if you're trying you're trying to communicate with like this particular star system or like whatever the fuck, you're like, yo,
like a beacon of light.
Yeah,
to go like, hey, this part of the universe or this planet is.
We're here, like things are going good.
Yeah. Like a GPS signal.
Yeah.
Or
like drop a pin.
Do you remember in Lord of the Rings where they would light the towers to signal the war?
Yeah. What are the? Oh, I
forget what the word.
Just watch a reel on this.
I forget what the word is. But they would want to. So just imagine you're trying to signal somebody across the planet, and then they have these series of towers.
Yeah, and so like
they light them on fire at the top of the mountain, and then they signal. Oh, we're going to war.
They also think it's like, and blah will answer.
Rohan is here.
And Rohan will answer.
Yeah, exactly. But the idea, that's on a small scale. But
this
the
is like planetary.
What if it was a signal?
Yeah, like
that Earth is
like a galaxy.
Yes.
On a galaxy level.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I mean,
dude. Okay. Eric's on the level here, baby.
He's almost converted.
So then, we kind of touched on this too, but the fact that there was no mummy or no treasures found.
Yeah.
Unlike other royal tombs, there was no mummy.
Nothing.
There was no burial goods.
Nothing.
There was.
So this could either be that this is really just two things. One, it's not a tomb.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and or two, it was robbed.
Well, they say that, but the fact that
because everything was robbed. Like all the things were robbed. We all know that
at some
people
point,
robbed.
Yeah.
Like half of the Valley of Kings was robbed.
But still, dude, why are they gonna have? They put all this time and effort into a rando ass room with all this fucking hieroglyphs and carvings and blah, and the King's Chamber, just
blank
slate. Yeah, just a
but you know what?
Nothing.
You know when mankind learns from the mistakes of the past. So the Valley of the Kings, they were like, hey, let's write shit on the wall because obviously Khufu's pyramid was robbed and we didn't leave any evidence of it.
I don't think that shit was robbed at that time.
No.
Dude,
hundreds of years
also,
later.
what was the time difference?
500 years between the Valley of the Kings.
I mean, I was just gonna say maybe they didn't have
500 years.
Maybe they didn't have the same
time.
No, bro.
I mean, America's not even 500 years old.
They hadn't developed the writing. Maybe that's one thing.
No, but my thing is they had to have fucking guards, and it's not like you're gonna fucking wheel down with some rope. From fucking 500 feet in the air.
But we're talking about 500 years. America's not even 500 years old.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're like, we need the guards. Guys, bring the guards over here to the tower.
It is hard to keep buying into it.
I know.
500 years later.
Later, this would
how are
be
you going to keep selling that?
No, this
you got to keep worshiping.
Maybe the new kings ooh, coffers are getting a little light.
Yeah. No, actually, actually, a good example is it would be us putting money in to protect Columbus's tomb. That's the math.
So you're saying we should go rob Columbus's tomb?
No, it would just be would our government expend protection for Columbus's tomb?
I mean, pretty much our government will expend money.
That's been proven in the last 2 months.
Eric's a terrible argument. I mean, because we're paying for everything.
But mathematically, that would be the same. About 500 years ago, a guy that, kind of in American folklore or American, I know he's got a bad rap the last couple decades, but he is a figure in.
Okay, well, I'll give it to you this way then. Okay, then why haven't, you look at, okay, so when the Spanish ruled the world at one point in time.
Yeah.
So the Spanish were pretty much loot and pillage everything, and they dumped all.
This
is like the Spanish, bro. This is before the South Americans.
That's my people.
I loved it though.
I mean, they're
my ancestors.
They look a little different than you, but that's okay.
That's my team.
So they would dump all the money into the Catholic Church, and they bolstered. That's why all these old Catholic churches are all gold and blah. Why haven't those churches been fucking robbed? They've been around for a long time. Fucking time.
I don't know the answer, but I would assume they have been. In times of war.
So you walk. Yeah, but in times of war, you don't walk into one of those churches and it's fucking 4 blank walls.
No, I know, but I mean, what's the last big war? World War II? Yeah.
Whoa.
The Germans pillaged almost every major creation in Europe.
They were also ripping fucking teeth out.
I know.
Shit, so they were
I know, but I mean,
gold.
I'm just saying the last major war. We're talking in millennias.
Yeah.
So the last major war is World War II. The Germans went and fucking literally, they took Picasso's and they, anyways, I'm just saying
that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
All right, proceed.
There's another theory that it was potentially a giant water pump. I don't like this theory. I don't know how they like fucking got on this one. They're like, hell yeah.
I love the practical theories. Like it was just to fucking pump more water.
They were like, is this a giant triangle? This is like fuck it.
No, and you know what? I'm gonna go into in the next episode, the Hoover Dam. It is a phenomenal structure. It is a feat beyond what you guys even understand.
Thing generates so much power. Those turbines are fucking humongous.
It's practical. There's no mystery behind it. It's just a practical thing.
Dump the water into move the generator, move the turbines, create power.
Yeah, for millions of people.
Yeah.
I love it because it's that same thing. It's the same thing. It's a pump.
It's a fucking pump.
It's a pump.
We need the water from the Nile,
the water.
okay?
I mean, we need
pump
the water.
The shit in there.
I like it.
Okay. So, there's also there's other theories. People think that, somehow the pyramids measurements predicted world events. Some think that it encodes like universal knowledge. Like within its structure.
Type.
Like super deep dive.
Yeah.
There's also like visitors who claim they go in and they have like odd feelings and energy shifts and apparently it can preserve organic material, like because something about like that. So the mummies are so like well preserved, not because of like their techniques, but somehow because of the structure,
the energy,
the structure itself,
the feng shui.
Yeah, because like, they didn't like. Granted, like they did a good job, but like they didn't have like embalming fucking fluid, like they just kind of.
They did an okay job.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it's okay.
It's passable.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Anyway,
I mean, it's an okay civilization.
So I just wanted to kind of recap on some of these.
Yeah, these are closing arguments.
Some of just specific because I'm actually going to get into the Sphinx as well.
Okay, yeah.
So, but I wanted to recap just so we're like fresh in our mind.
Yeah.
When we hear Eric's bullshit ranting on the next episode.
I think I just won my taxes.
Yeah?
I just switched to H&R Block in about 1 minute. All I had to do was drag and drop last year's return into H&R Block, and bam, my information is automatically there.
So I don't have to go digging around for all my old papers to switch?
Nope.
Sounds like we just leveled up our tax game.
Switching to H&R Block is easy. Just drag and drop your last return. It's better with Block.
The PC gave us computing power at home, the internet connected us, and mobile let us do it pretty much anywhere. Now generative AI lets us communicate with technology in our own language using our own senses. But figuring it all out when you're living through it is a totally different story. Welcome to Leading the Shift, a new podcast from Microsoft Azure. I'm your host, Susan Ettlinger. In each episode, leaders will share what they're learning to help you navigate all this change with confidence. Please join us. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
So I want you to have like all this like locked and loaded for when we get into his lies. So, it's just like they fucking had advanced engineering. There was high speed drilling marks and precision cutting of one of the hardest materials that we have on Earth.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, you can't do that with a fucking copper like club.
You can't do that. You also can't do that consistently for all those blocks and between all the different people working on it. It's not like just one guy could be consistent. No, you're talking about
20,000,
thousands of people working on it.
And like, there's legit like in these, there's a spiral grooves, so it's like an actual drill. Like there's spiral grooves, like in some of these blocks. So it was it was legitimately drilled into.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine how long it would take you by hand to drill through like a solid piece of granite?
No.
I would.
Our view of how they did it is
I would literally die before I'd be able to do it.
Yeah.
And then the advanced stone cutting effects, like literally sawing through hard granite to make very precise. You've seen, obviously, you showed us the pictures of the King's Chamber.
Yeah.
That wall is as fucking flat it's smooth. It's legit smooth.
It's a good build.
It's a good build. It's a good build.
It's a good build.
It's decent. Decent.
Passes code.
No, that shit is like, and then even for the example, like making the tunnels. How? Okay. They had to make the tunnels afterwards because they're gonna cut the tunnel. They're gonna pre-cut the tunnels into the fucking dude.
No.
They cut those tunnels through solid rock. And these tunnels are like long, and you can't. and they're gonna cut these fucking shafts. How the fuck are you gonna cut a legit 65-meter shaft that only a little robot can fit through into a whole nother room?
Yeah.
Into another room with a door.
Yeah.
How riddle me this, Eric. Riddle me the ingenuity of man. Yeah. How the fuck are you gonna do that? I cannot wrap my head around it. So then okay. If you are able to then manipulate that vibration, you can move things. But I'm saying, like, I think it's fascinating that we're literally made up of 99.99%
I like
dead
that
space.
theory. Now, how about this? Okay, if that theory plays out and we know somebody came down that had that kind of technology.
Aliens?
Yeah, okay. Right? Why? Maybe if they can travel through space and using the manipulation of gravity, why can't they bring some tech that would manipulate gravity here, and then somehow they're able to lift these fucking rocks and move them around wherever they want?
Correct.
With some
it's
sort
not
of
godlike. It's actually science.
Yes.
No, but imagine to an ancient people,
like
to an ancient person,
theory?
you're like, this is God shit. This is God
sure,
tier. This is
sure.
God tier shit happening right now. No, but I think with that, I do believe in like the gravity engine, but with that, it's different than anti-gravity. Like with the theory behind gravity propulsion is you're focusing gravity so hard that you're falling at infinite speed.
Okay.
Whereas it's different than like turning gravity off.
Yeah.
Like being like, oh, there's no gravity now.
But what are you guys saying in relation to this? Right. Like you're saying that.
No, he's saying if they had technology to travel using gravitational propulsion, then why wouldn't they be able to then
move some fucking rocks?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
but I get the way you explained it makes more
the way I
sense.
explained it is because like this is all coming from, if you don't know who Bob Lazar is, you should look him up.
Yes.
So Bob Lazar is he's a big whistleblower. Said he worked at.
No, I know who it is. Yeah.
I'm talking to our listeners.
Well, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Bob Lazar's been saying the same story for 40 years.
I mean, I could say the same story for 40 years. And it could be fucking wrong.
But I mean, it's a really great point. And I think I've brought this up again. Yeah. I'll bring it up again because it's actually valid. It's like as a theory, as a theory, it's valid. And the fact that we're not looking at this as a theoretical possibility is like insane.
What's his theory on this?
His theory is, he's saying that he reverse engineered a gravity propulsion system.
Okay.
Whereas like you have a targeted beam of gravity. You literally you can just increase gravity in a singular point underneath the ship, and you literally fall. You fall.
I see.
So imagine if you can make gravity infinite.
Yeah.
You can just literally scale it to infinity. You literally will just fall instantly. You just arrive. You just almost so you're not like, our propulsion system is based off pushing.
Yeah.
We're based on, we gotta light shit on fire and they gotta push us
from behind.
Push us as far as we can, and we're like burning, we're just fucking blow it up until we like move faster.
Yeah.
Whereas this, like, you're literally falling. You just arrive, and you can just like increase it to maximum. You just arrive.
I'm down for that, but it doesn't say that could be technology that is built by humans.
Eric, 5,000 years ago?
Yes. Why not?
Okay, Eric. What? Meanwhile, like Eric's like in like a dead zone in his Wi-Fi. And he's like, "What the fuck? This is fucking bullshit."
I'm just saying again. Yes, it's a great technology
fucking
that
iPhone's
could
not
be
holding a charge.
That hopefully that would be great if we could develop. But it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean.
I know it has nothing to do with the pyramids. I understand.
No, but you're talking about like a technology that we went down the different path on. Like,
no, we're saying this is alien. Aliens came down. The whole conversation started with like, okay, the sound theory, and then Orion's like, well, if they fucking had this technology, why couldn't they just like do like some anti-gravity shit?
Yeah, I get it.
And I was like, okay, well, it's a little bit different because it's the opposite version of that technology.
I'm just trying to say that, like, why are we discounting the fact that mankind could have created this?
It's because they can't.
If they had the technology
to create this shit. If Bob Lazar says that we can, then why can't, like, if we're going to listen to a human who says it.
No, Bob Lazar is saying he reverse engineered UFOs.
Right.
Oh, God damn it.
Bob Lazar's not saying like they had it, like, oh, the U.S. created it. No, he's saying he was working at S4, which is part of fucking Area 51.
I can't believe
That's who Bob Lazar is.
I know who Bob Lazar is.
No, well, clearly you don't. You're saying this is like human technology. God. He said he reverse engineered alien technology.
Yeah, I see.
But clearly, even the government's like, aliens are real. And Eric's like, no.
The Pentagon is
confirmed.
Lying. I can't jump off a guy who says he took alien technology that we can't prove and we don't have. And then that's the basis of the argument.
So you're taking the government stance. So the government's telling you the truth. The government's 100%. Eric, we wouldn't do that to you. We would not disclose. We would not disclose information to you, Eric.
They disclosed it a couple of years after.
I know they're literally like, yes, they're 100% real. Confirmed. Eric still doesn't believe that, but he believes that they would have told us.
Absolutely not.
Oh my God. We got to get Eric abducted.
And then just have an episode of Come to Jesus.
He's going to be like in the spaceship. He's like, this is bullshit. I'm dreaming.
We got Paulina, what's her name? Fucking.
Oh, yeah. Anna Paulina?
Yeah. She's over the.
She's supposed to like be, we'll
see.
Coming out with all that.
We'll see.
Info.
God bless America.
Yeah.
Woo. So anyway, Eric's.
I mean, we're going to get into more of it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to skip through. I mean.
Yeah. I mean,
there was a theory that there was actually like that the granite wasn't actually granite; it was like a geopolymer type of concrete.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
There was this theory that the blocks were actually not quarry; they were actually cast in place.
I've heard of this
sort of geopolymer type of mixture. Which would explain how these like limestone blocks were transported and fitted so precisely because they
almost
actually
like
made them in place.
A technology of construction that.
Okay, Eric.
It's just a thought.
Yeah,
it's just a theory.
Just a theory.
It's like the 80 tons, 25 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Fucking shut the fuck up.
It's a thought.
There's also like the water transport theory, which Eric talked about.
Oh, yeah.
And like the quote unquote like hydraulic lift type theory.
Okay.
I mean, like to lubricate. When you need to smoothen things out, what do you do? Yeah, you lubricate.
Okay.
Then obviously we talked about the the kind of electromagnetic type of theory, and then obviously there's the real there's like not even a theory, just like the real. It's extraterrestrial intervention and assistance in
general.
I truly believe it was this like extraterrestrial. Or even potentially like this insane lost technology, but I think it still came from extraterrestrial, so it's like fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
But anyways, I wanted to quickly get in before we get into Eric's stupid episode. I wanted to quickly touch on the Sphinx because it's really interesting.
Yeah, and it's within the necropolis or the royal grounds. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like right fucking in front of the pyramid. It's like right there. So, so the Sphinx, the construction was during Khafre's reign. It was, I guess, conventional belief. Most Egyptologists agree that the Sphinx was built during the reign of Pharaoh Khafre. They're just guessing, really. But it's between 2558 BCE and 2532 BCE.
So a little bit after the actual the main pyramids.
Correct. So it's located next to the Valley Temple of Khafre's pyramid complex. Okay. There's a causeway that connects Khafre's pyramid to the temple, suggesting that the Sphinx was part of the design, like they kind of built it into it.
Okay.
And then statues of Khafre show similar facial features to the Sphinx, including the distinctive style of the headdress that he was wearing.
Yeah.
It likely represented royal power, divine protection, like with the lion's body, symbolizing strength, and the human head representing intelligence, attributes of an ideal pharaoh, like strength, you're smart.
Yeah,
protect us.
What's weird though? Like in all the like hieroglyphics and shit like that, you always see birds, or hawks, or bird head.
Cranes.
You never see lions
and cats. You see hella cats and shit. There's mad cats.
That's true.
There's mad cats.
That's true.
Yeah. But I
never seen a lion though. There's always like a house cat.
Yeah,
they all correlated to like a god, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
there's
like
no fucking lion god.
Hawk. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have multiple gods on my arm.
Yeah, maybe they just didn't like the lions.
Pussies.
Yeah.
Normal house cat's way more intimidating.
A hawk.
So then, As the Old Kingdom declined, the Sphinx fell into disrepair.
Yeah.
Partially buried by the desert sands, and then
So I've seen photos of like 100 years ago where it's just the head.
Well, yeah, and the thing is
of the Sphinx, that's all you see.
And there was a lot of erosion, like it's actually natural erosion. There's a weird thing about it. Like if you look, the head is like weirdly small for the body, like which leads you to believe like was that actually what it was? Because it's like
maybe it was constructed earlier, and it was an actual thing,
and then they like built over it because it's like in the proportions of like the Sphinx, it's like a pygmy head. It's like a fucking, it's like Beetlejuice. And they like shrunk his head like the head powder.
That's very true.
In 1400 BCE, Thutmose IV ordered the first known restoration of the Sphinx. It was buried up to the neck in sand, as Eric was talking about. But this was obviously, this is
later.
This is 1400 BCE. This is a long time ago. So then the dream stele was placed between the Sphinx's paws. It's a granite slab that records how Thutmose IV, while resting in the shadow of the Sphinx, dreamed that the deity embodied in the Sphinx promised him kingship if he cleared away the sand. So it's probably just some like fucking ancient shit. Like, oh yeah,
interesting.
It suggests that the Sphinx had a religious and political significance, possibly representing the sun god Ra, which is it's sun god Ra Harakti, which is a fusion of Ra and Horus. Ra was technically the god of all. He was like the king of the gods. Horus was also the god of the sky. Some people say that he was also the god of the sun, so that's why they added up. In 600 to 300 BCE, there's new interpretations. So during this period, the Sphinx was associated more closely with the god Horus, who was the protector of the pharaoh. There was a little Greek influence. The Greeks arrived in Egypt. They named it the Sphinx. That's where the name comes from. They likened it to Greek mythological creature who had a human head and a lion's body.
Crazy, and this is like 1,000 years after it was actually built.
Literally, fucking wild. So the original Egyptian meanings began blending with the Greek interpretations, and it kind of just made it even more fucking confusing. Just confused the shit out of everybody.
Kind of like what we were saying, like it gets passed down and just either it gets lost or telephone game.
Yeah,
like
telephone game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then again in the 1st century CE, which is the Roman era, there's further restoration efforts. Romans conducted minor repairs. They left behind inscriptions indicating their reverence for the Egyptian ancient wonders. Like, holy shit, this is amazing. And then at the end of the Roman rule, the Sphinx was again buried with only its head visible from the sand. So then in 1817, Giovanni Battista Gaviglia, who's an Italian explorer, he led the first attempt to excavate the Sphinx in modern time. He cleared the sand from the chest, but he lacked the resources to do a full excavation of the site.
Yeah.
And then this really marked the beginning of like the modern archaeological interest in these Egyptian kind of things and the Sphinx and such. So then in 1887, there was a French Egyptologist named Gaston Maspero. God, the most fucking Frenchest name ever. Gaston! So he did another major excavation. He believed that the Sphinx dated to Khafre's reign.
Mm-hmm.
And then pretty much he found that his findings really strengthened the idea that the Sphinx and the second pyramid complex were kind of linked. Like they built them similar time frame. They were like a kind of a part of each other. And then in 1925 to 1936, the Egyptian archaeologist Salim Hassan finally cleared the Sphinx entirely from the sand. So that was just literally in 1925, like to 1936. Yeah, they literally, that's when they first fucking 100 years ago cleared it fully from the sand. And that really provided the first comprehensive description and scientific analysis that confirmed its 4th dynasty origins
of its
old
creation. Kingdom. Is that the Old Kingdom?
I don't remember what the dynasties are. Right. But then in the 1950s up till now, there's been multiple restoration projects, some of which ironically caused more harm than good to the fucking structure. The erosion continues to really threaten its, the monument itself, and it's, they're really trying to do their best to conserve it and maintain it.
Pretty much all the nose is gone, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. So there's various theories around the Sphinx. We brought it up just because it is like it seems like it's kind of connected. It's like right there. It's part of it. So there's a water erosion theory. So this one's interesting. So geologist Robert Schoch in the 1990s, he suggested that the erosion patterns on the Sphinx were caused by heavy rainfall, which ended in Egypt around 7000 BCE. So he's saying that this thing was older Like these things was like older than the fucking pyramids,
which is an interesting theory,
really
itself.
So this would say it was thousands of years older than the pyramids, potentially built by a different lost civilization. Like it was there before the Egyptians took over. It's really wild. But most Egyptologists argue that is a wind erosion theory, like wind, sand eroding. Bam. So then
that makes sense too, because like sand could be pretty. Yeah,
it's abrasive. It's super abrasive. So then there's this like Hall of Records hypothesis that believe there's a hidden chamber beneath the Sphinx, which apparently has been detected by ground penetrating radar that contains a Hall of Records, which holds the secrets of Atlantis or the ancient Egyptians. This was popularized by this guy named Edgar Cayce. He was a mystic, which is amazing, and he claimed the chamber would be discovered in the 1990s, which obviously it wasn't.
Yeah.
So then there's the head recarving theory, which I like.
Yeah.
So it suggests that the Sphinx's head is disproportionate to its body, which it fucking is. It's like weird. It's like a pygmy head.
Yeah.
That it was originally carved as a lion and then later recarved into a human head during Khafre's reign, which I like. I think that's legit. So this could explain the weathering patterns and the small size of the head compared to its like relatively large body.
I like that theory.
Okay.
Then there's got the alignment of Orion's belt. So proposed by Robert Bauval, this theory claims that the Sphinx aligns with the constellation Leo during the vernal equinox around 10,500 BCE. This also leads to this like older fucking build.
Yep.
And so this suggests that Sphinx is part of a broader astronomical plan linking to the pyramids, which align with Orion's belt. I mean, I think they're obviously their concept of astronomy was like out of this world. I don't know how the
even
fuck.
the other theories of the actual pyramids being aligned to astronomical or astrological. What's the word?
Yeah,
Is that the right word?
astrological bodies and like
exactly. Yeah. Okay.
So, anyways, that's that. I mean, that was just a brief little thing. I didn't do like
about the
we didn't do
Sphinx.
like deep dive on the Sphinx. It was just like a little bit, just
Mostly
to, like,
about the pyramid. Yeah.
Mostly about the pyramids, but I didn't want you guys to fucking shit on me. With the Sphinx. So I just wanted to give you that. Just to cover my ass.
For Eric.
So
mostly
overall,
Eric would have been the one shit on us.
Next episode is going to be Eric's episode.
Yeah, whatever, loser.
We'll go over it more in the next episode as well at the end. But I do have a conspiracy theory that I wanted to throw into your episode.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
I went down a bit of a rabbit hole, and it was about the possibility that the construction is wrong. The time period of the construction is wrong, and it's older than we think.
Well, we just kind of.
I like that.
Right?
I like that.
Okay.
Of which, now, really expand your mind a little bit. Yeah. Imagine.
Expand your mind.
Imagine civilization that existed perhaps on Mars.
Okay.
Ooh. I mean, there is signs of that.
So there is a deep theory of that the pyramids were a like we had talked about, a signal or a beacon of some sort,
communication device
to the civilization on Mars.
Ooh, they were like, "Yo,
I like that."
Okay.
Do you know
Well,
what I
see,
mean?
the thing is, I think that I think is always funny, and I always thought it was so weird. Like when we're like looking at, like we're like, oh, okay, we're like modern, like looking at the stuff from Mars, and like, oh, go see if there can be life on Mars. We're only basing life off of us.
Yeah.
Like, well, it can't sustain life.
Yeah.
Well, it can't sustain our life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, if you look, there's actually an interesting thing. If you look at fungus can survive in space. They've taken fungal spores into space. It can survive the vacuum of space. It can survive the radiation of space.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, isn't that like
That's a wild
super
concept.
hyper bizarre thing?
Yeah.
You put a human body in space, fucked.
Yeah.
Just absolutely toast.
Yeah.
But you take fungus and it survives.
Yeah.
So like, we can't, when we're looking at things, we can't the only perspective is us. Well, life can't survive on that because everything is us. Yeah. I'm like, no.
But you're talking about like life as in, some sort of civilization. in there.
Yeah.
Not necessarily just some bacteria.
No.
I mean,
I'm saying that like if they like scientists are like, well, life can't live on Mars.
Yeah.
I'm saying, well,
our life.
Yeah, our life.
Earth's life.
Some other life can.
No, but I mean,
some aliens can.
The idea behind the theory is that we look at the Egyptian pyramids as 5,000 years ago, but
what if they were like? What if 50,000 years ago?
Yeah, or a million?
What if the dinosaurs built the pyramids?
No wonder they can move the blocks. Let's change our concept of time and then go, okay, well, like what happens to a civilization over 1 million years? And then point. You know what I mean? And then you take the face on Mars. You know, there's you've seen that, right?
There's like weird shit.
Yeah, there's like weird structures or things that look man-made,
almost like pyramidal. Like there's like super like straight lines.
Yeah. But again, that theory does go back to that. What if humanity? I mean, it's more self-serving because it's
because it fuels your theory.
Because I still believe in I'm not saying extraterrestrials. I'm saying humanity.
Yeah, Eric believes in the ingenuity of man. That's right. That's his main argument. The ingenuity of man.
Yes, that's right. So, anyways. There we go. So we will catch you guys on the next episode, and it'll be so.
Or you could be done listening.
Yeah,
by
you could
now.
be done and just unsubscribe, and call it quits, and you just move on.
Do not unsubscribe. Yeah. Just you don't have to listen, but just stay subscribed.
No, so the next episode is going to be it's probably going to be about an hour of Eric
ranting.
Yeah, and then the final summation of all of our things.
All of the amalgamation of all the stuff.
And all of it does come to the climax of Jorge's choice.
This is all. This entire thing was about Jorge. Yes, Jorge deciding.
And honestly, he has very little time left, but he will come up. He will say whether or not he's on Team Sean or Team Eric. Okay. And then what we're going to do is I want all of our listeners to comment. All I want you to do is comment Team Sean or Team Eric, and that's it.
We'll put a
we'll put a poll. Yeah, we'll put a poll. Exactly. Yes,
it'll be on Spotify.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll catch you guys next time. As always, subscribe, share. Help us out.
Yeah, everything you do keeps this thing going. Keeps it fun. Keeps it alive. Like I said, we literally this isn't like. There's no financial gain here. Yeah. We just do this for fun. So just keep it alive for us, boys.
So we'll catch you next time.
As always, nighty night.